Hello everyone, my name is Matt and welcome back to the channel. And today I wanted to do a special movie review in honor of Memorial Day. There are plenty of movies that I could have chose from that do a great job representing and honoring the veterans that never came home from the battlefield, that paid the ultimate sacrifice for the luxuries that we live today, that I feel like a lot of people tend to overlook or forget about. But one movie always stood out to me more than others. Now, this movie in particular is based on the book by Lieutenant Colonel Moore, We Were Soldiers, Once and Young. This movie in particular does a fantastic job showing you the loss of not only the soldiers themselves, but also the effects that the families had at home as they received those haunting telegrams from the taxi service that was delivering them to their doorstep, telling them about the demise of their loved ones. I feel like current day events and current day culture is completely forgotten about veterans that have not come home. Memorial Day is not about thanking veterans that are still here. Today is about the ones that paid the ultimate sacrifice, that never came home. There's a name to all of those individuals. They were brothers, sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, husbands, wives. Their loss affected and changed generations. In our culture, especially here in the United States, we are very spoiled. We take for granted the things that we have. When these people will never be able to see their loved ones again, they'll never be able to see a sunrise or a sunset. Some of them never be able to have a family of their own or continue their legacy. They've sacrificed everything so we can have an opportunity at anything. And there are many other movies out there that do a fantastic job honoring the loss of life from each conflict that we've been involved in. Whether you agree with that conflict and why we were there or not, regardless, there are people who signed up to defend our freedom, to serve our country, and to make sure that we can do whatever we want in the pursuit of happiness. If you've never seen this movie, I highly recommend it. Today would be a fantastic day to set some time aside and turn it on. You don't know what this movie is about. It is about the first major conflict during the Vietnam War. As most of you probably know, Vietnam War introduced a new type of warfare for the United States military, and that was the Air Cavalry Unit using the very famous Huey helicopter. And Lieutenant Colonel Moore was the one to lead these men into that first major battle with the North Vietnamese. He was ordered to take his 400 men and seek out and destroy the enemy combatants. Upon doing this, they realize that they have stumbled across a veteran North Vietnamese army division of 4,000 men. Being heavily outnumbered, they inflicted a lot of casualties. They were able to hold off their enemy and technically win the skirmish, but not without heavy loss. And this movie does a fantastic job showing, again, not only the emotional effect of all this, but what these men had to endure during combat. The two standout roles in this movie are Mel Gibson, who played Lieutenant Colonel Moore, Barry Pepper, who played Joe Galloway, who was an American newspaper correspondent that went to document the conflict. And again, this movie does a great job portraying actual events that took place. One scene in particular that always stood out to me was the scene of Sergeant Jack Gell and his last dying words. We see in the movie when Sergeant Jack Gell was hit by enemy small arms fire, his dying words were, "Tell my wife I love her," and that account is true. And as I said earlier, a lot of these families were informed of the outcome of their loved ones by a Western Union telegram dropped off by a cab company. So you can only imagine how that felt to see a taxi cab outside your home, ringing the doorbell, tell you that your loved one is gone forever. And as I said, there are plenty of movies that you can watch to honor the ones that didn't come home and paid the ultimate sacrifice. Black Hawk Down, Saving Private Ryan, The Patriot. But the point of today is that while you're out and playing golf, grilling with your family, at a pool, whatever it is that you're doing today, take some time to sit down, think about why it is this day exists, all the freedoms that you get to enjoy. Everything that you do is because soldiers, Marines, Navymen, airmen paid the ultimate sacrifice for you to enjoy this day. So let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are on We Were Soldiers. It's always been one of my favorite movies, but there are plenty others out there that do just as good of a job remembering the ones that didn't come home, bringing the realization and the reality of combat onto your TV screens without you having to endure that, but then also showing you the emotional and physical damage that these men had to deal with and the ones at home for paying the ultimate sacrifice. So let me know your thoughts below. I always love to hear them, or I always love to hear recommendations of other movies. If you like this video, hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. And until next time, take care.